To stand beneath this magnificent creature is to
For a long
truly
time, we were
understand
told a
the
lie.
scale of the
We were
past.
told that our ancestors were nothing but timid, shivering mice, hiding in the dirt while the real kings of the world ruled above. But the fossil record is finally whispering a different story. These early mammals were not just waiting for the dinosaurs to die. They were already warriors, opportunists, and survivors, hunting the very skills that would one day allow us to inherit the Earth. If you find this journey through our deep past intriguing, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a chapter of our shared history. The tragedy of the dinosaur era is often framed as a sudden end, but for the mammals it was an invitation. When the Chicxulub asteroid struck what is now Mexico, it delivered a blow of 75% extinction across all life forms. Strength, size, and dominance suddenly became liabilities. The heavy, specialized kings of the Cretaceous could not find enough food to fuel their massive frames. In a world of falling ash and eternal winter, the crown of evolution was discarded in the mud. Survival in those dark years favored the adaptable over the powerful. This was the dawn of the generalist, where being picky meant death. While the specialized herbivores starved, our ancestors looked at the charred landscape and saw a buffet. They ate insects, rotting plants, carrion, and even the bones of the fallen. They were the ultimate scavengers, turning the collapse of an old world into the foundation of a new one. There is a quiet power in being small. For millions of years, mammals survived by occupying the spaces the dinosaurs ignored. They lived underground in complex burrows, moved through the canopy under the veil of night, and reproduced with a speed that defied logic. This was not a life of fear, but a masterclass in resilience. By remaining small, they required less energy and could hide from the environmental shocks that leveled the forests. As the dust finally settled and the first rays of sunlight hit the ground after years of darkness, the world was empty. The great ecological theaters were silent, waiting for new actors to take the stage. Mammals did not simply step out of the shadows, they exploded into them. This was the moment of transition from mere survival to aggressive expansion. Every empty forest, every vacant river, and every silent plain was a territory waiting to be claimed. What gave these creatures their true edge was not just their teeth or their claws, but their minds. Mammals possessed a level of behavioral flexibility that the reptilian brain could rarely match. They could learn from their mistakes, remember the locations of seasonal food, and adapt their strategies in real time. While a reptile is often a slave to its instinct, a mammal is a student of its environment. This mental plasticity allowed them to colonize habitats that should have been uninhabitable. We must break the myth that mammals were passive spectators to the dinosaur reign. The discovery of fossils like Rhipinomammus proves that evolution was already experimenting with size and aggression long before the asteroid. Some mammals were active predators, hunting the young of their supposed masters. They were already testing the limits of their biology, proving that the drive for dominance is woven into our very DNA. Once the dinosaurs were gone, a biological phenomenon known as adaptive radiation took hold. It was like a spring being released after millions of years of tension. Within just a few million years, a blink of an eye in geological time, mammals diversified into a staggering array of forms. They became massive herbivores, sleek predators, and agile climbers. Each lineage was a different experiment, an exploration of what it meant to be alive and thriving. Evolution eventually pushed these creatures beyond the boundaries of the solid Earth. Some took to the trees, developing the forward-facing eyes and grasping hands that would eventually define the primate line. Others looked toward the vast, empty oceans. A small, deer-like creature named Pachycetus began to spend more time in the water, a journey of 1,000,000 steps that would transform a land dweller into the majestic whales we see today. As the millions of years rolled by, the plains began to tremble once again. Mammals eventually produced giants of their own, like the Paraceratherium, a rhinoceros ancestor that stood nearly 16 feet tall at the shoulder. But evolution hides a cruel paradox within its success. The more specialized and massive an organism becomes, the more fragile it is. These giants dominated their era, but they were bound to the stability of their environment, a bond that would eventually become their undoing. The Earth is a restless parent, and it soon presented another challenge in the form of the Paleocene thermal maximum. This was a period of extreme global warming that pushed the limits of biological endurance. Instead of growing larger, many mammalian lineages actually shrank. This dwarfing was a brilliant response to heat and reduced food quality, proving once again that mammals are the ultimate masters of the pivot. When the world burns, we do not just endure. We change our very shape to survive. If we look at the mammalian body, we see a machine designed for high-performance living. Our internal heat regulation, or endothermy, allows us to remain active when the sun goes down or the frost sets in. Our fur provides the insulation needed to conquer the poles. Our efficient hearts and lungs provide a constant stream of oxygen to a high-energy metabolism. It is an always-on system that demands a lot of fuel, but in return, it offers a level of sustained activity that cold-blooded creatures can only dream of. But the crowning achievement of this journey is undoubtedly the development of the large brain. Physical adaptations like claws and fur are useful, but they are static. A brain that can solve problems, navigate social hierarchies, and pass down knowledge is a tool that transcends biology. It allowed mammals to cooperate, to hunt in packs, and to protect their young with an intensity that ensured the survival of the next generation. Every step of this journey, from the burrowing survivors of the impact to the kings of the modern savanna, was shaped by pressure. There were no accidents, only responses to a world that was constantly trying to kill them. Omnivory, hunting, climbing, swimming, each was a link in a continuous chain of adaptation. Each stage was a victory of the mind and body over the harshness of natural law. The rise of mammals is not a finished story found in a dusty textbook. It is a living, breathing reality that continues today. We are the inheritors of those who refused to die, those who saw a wasteland and saw a home. It serves as a haunting reminder that in the grand theater of life, the status quo is an illusion. The environment is shifting faster now than at almost any point in history, and the old rules are being rewritten in real time. As we look at the world we have built, we must ask ourselves if we have forgotten the lessons of our ancestors. They survived because they were flexible, because they were small enough to hide and smart enough to change. We have become the giants, specialized and perhaps a bit too comfortable in our dominance. Will our intelligence be enough to navigate the coming storms, or will we find ourselves as vulnerable as the dinosaurs we once replaced? What trait do you believe is most essential for survival in a world that never stops changing? Is it the strength to fight or the wisdom to adapt? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found value in this exploration of our origins, please subscribe and join our community. The story of life is still being written, and it is up to us to decide how our chapter ends. Until next time,